spawned off of nerd science, which is the geek science. Could Wolverine survive Mortal Kombat? He's doing a lot of the ones that we kind of want to see, I feel like. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Can Wolverine survive Mortal Kombat? Easily, right? It's Wolverine. Of course he's surviving Mortal Kombat. No way he doesn't.
That has no name on any human map. A land where physics operates according to its own laws, and where life exists, not because nature allows it, but because violence has not yet ended. This is the place where Mortal Kombat has been held since before humanity knew how to count centuries a tournament, not to find the strongest warrior, but to determine which reality deserves to continue existing. Logan did not come here because he was invited. He came because a dimensional portal opened in the wrong place, at the wrong time, and Logan was standing in the exact spot when it opened. I'm
kind of mad we don't have like our nerd science would to narrate this instead, because I don't like listening to the AI voice we hear on the shorts like 24/7. Like even though this whole video is AI generated, it's different. Like visual and listening, two different satisfactions, right? Either you're gonna keep continuing to bash AI and just be held back because AI at this point is the future. As bad as that sounds, like it's just something we gotta deal with anyway, you know? So get used to it. Get used to it.
No preparation. Only purple light, the smell of ozone.
The smell of ozone. No way, no way. This dude says ozone too. This has to be the same dude. This has to be the same dude. Like he's trying to maximize bread right now. This has to be the same dude.
World beneath his boots.
And why the hell is his suit backwards? Like
The rules of the tournament are very simple. Anyone who steps into Outworld territory without being summoned will fight, or be killed without needing to fight. Shao Kahn looked at this short, stocky human with a titanium skeleton and nothing to lose, and decided that
not a titanium skeleton, adamantium. He probably thinks it's titanium, but we all know it's adamantium. And he will kill Shao Kahn in an instant, right? Wolverine is over Shao Kahn in a million ways.
This was a more interesting case than a simple one. The question is not whether Wolverine can defeat Mortal Kombat. The question is, what happens when a creature that is theoretically unkillable is placed into a system designed to kill everything? Phase 1. Scorpion. When immortality meets immortality. The first fight...
Two different types of immortality we're talking about here. Two different types.
Takes place in the pit, the most traditional arena of the tournament, a stone platform with a deep chasm below, and Outworld...
Like Scorpion's immortal for the simple fact that whatever, he bathes in hellfire or whatever. I don't know. I just made that up. He's bathing in hellfire for eternity, right? Wolverine is immortal in a way like he cannot die, and he won't die to these guys. He won't.
Spectators lining three sides. Scorpion was chosen not because he was the strongest, but because he was the most suitable to test this type of opponent. A warrior who had died and returned, fighting against one who is theoretically unable to die. Scorpion opens with the chain attack that has taken down hundreds of warriors over many centuries. The chain pierces through Logan's left shoulder. Logan looks down, says nothing, and walks forward along that chain. Scorpion, for the first time in many decades, does not know what to do with this information.
Wolverine just walks up to him, swipes his head off.
The next engagement is not a fight in the traditional sense. Scorpion attacks with hellfire at a temperature hot enough to melt steel armor, and Logan absorbs it in a way that even Scorpion cannot classify. Not immunity, not endurance, but continuing to move forward while burning, with wounds healing faster than the new damage can be created.
This is like compared to nerd science, dude. Nerd science, we love nerd science. Like we're definitely not doing this again.
This is what makes Scorpion stop.
He makes
not
it
the
so much
opponent's
better.
Strength,
like so
but
much
the
better.
Absolute patience of a creature that has lived long enough to stop fearing pain. Encounter verdict. Scorpion is defeated not because Logan is stronger in technique, but because every strategy of Scorpion is built on the assumption that the opponent will react to pain. Logan does not react to pain. That is the gap between victory and defeat. Phase 2. Sub-Zero, when regeneration speed is tested. Sub-Zero is a challenge of a different nature. Where Scorpion fights with emotion and legacy, Sub-Zero fights with thermodynamic logic. He does not need to kill the opponent immediately. He needs to make the opponent unable to move, and then handle the rest. Sub-Zero's equation is very specific. If Logan's regeneration system depends on blood circulation, then freezing that blood at a low enough temperature will temporarily disable the regeneration process. He tests this theory by lowering the temperature around Logan to 70 degrees below zero and observing. Result? Logan...
I'm not gonna lie, Sub-Zero might be a difficult fight for Wolverine. Might be. Sub-Zero's like the only one, and Shang Tsung. Like, there's a couple difficult fights Wolverine would have, but other than that, he would just have a ball.
Logan slows down. Wounds heal more slowly, but they do not stop. What Sub-Zero did not account for is the adamantium skeleton. That metal does not conduct heat the way normal bone does. It retains the core heat of Logan's body long enough for the regeneration process to continue operating at a minimum level. This is not design. It is not Logan's tactic. This is physics. And in the battle between Sub-Zero's strategy and the physics of adamantium, physics does not negotiate. Encounter verdict. Sub-Zero discovers the real limit of Logan regeneration is not infinite. It is a biological process that can be slowed down. But slowing down is not stopping. And in the gap between those two things, Logan ends the fight. Phase 3. Goro.
Oh,
When
Goro,
size is no longer an advantage.
See, we get Goro. We're probably gonna get Shao Kahn. Like, I wish Nerd Science did that too. But instead, we got the
Goro represents a completely different philosophy of Outworld. Power multiplied exponentially rather than linearly. 4 arms, each with...
Which, again, doesn't matter because Goro's thing is ripping people apart, right? What is he going to rip apart? He's going to tear his own limbs off trying to rip apart Wolverine. Like,
the force equivalent to a top warrior, coordinated in a way
if
that
that's
the
even
human
possible.
nervous system is biologically unable to process fast enough to dodge. This is why Goro has won the tournament 9 times in a row, not because opponents were not strong enough, but because they did not have enough information to process. Logan does not dodge. This is the first thing Goro discovers, and it ruins his entire strategy. 4 arms only have an overwhelming advantage when the opponent tries to dodge. It creates traps, creates dead angles.
You guys want to say AI slop? This is AI slop. Okay, this is what we consider AI slop. The stuff that Nerd Science puts out, even though it's AI, it's at least kind of, it's so much more clean than this. It's cleaned up so well.
Creates situations with no escape. When the opponent steps straight forward and accepts every punch as part of getting close enough, the 4-arm advantage turns into a logistics problem. 4 arms on one body is still one body. The fight with Goro is the most painful of that night, not because Logan has tactical difficulties, but because Goro is strong enough to create damage faster than normal regeneration speed. There are seconds when Logan is in a state that medically is called temporary death. But temporary death has never been permanent. Encounter verdict. Goro proves that Logan can be overwhelmed by regeneration speed in the short term. But short term is still short term. In Mortal Kombat, the fight ends when one side cannot stand up, and Logan always stands up.
Yep.
Phase 4. Shao Kahn. When the Conqueror meets the Unyielding. Shao Kahn does not enter the fight because he is challenged. He enters because Logan is an unresolved problem, and Shao Kahn does not allow problems to exist in his character. The champion of Outworld is not only the strongest warrior, he is the one who understands that war is not a contest of strength, but a contest of will. Shao Kahn attacks not with the first blow, but with psychological pressure. He lets Logan stand in front of him and simply does not begin. For 30 seconds, a meaningless period in a human lifetime, but extremely meaningful in combat space, he stands
If
still.
Wolverine's claws were actually like that, I would not like Wolverine at all. Like, if his claws were coming from his fingertips instead, ugh.
And evaluates. This is the
Look at those
language
claws.
of power that Logan
Ugh.
understands and does not care about. Logan does not fight because of emotion anymore. He fights because it is what needs to be done. When Shao Kahn attacks, he does what no one that night has done. He targets Logan's psychology rather than his body. Each blow is designed not to kill, but to exhaust in a deeper sense the spiritual exhaustion of a creature that has lived too long and carried too much. Shao Kahn has studied Logan enough to know that immortality is not a gift to Logan, it is a punishment. And he tries to use that. What Shao Kahn did not account for is that Logan has faced that spiritual exhaustion alone, without spectators, without meaning, for many decades and still stands here, not because he is not hurt, but because being hurt is not a reason to stop. Encounter verdict. Shao Kahn is the closest opponent to understanding Logan as a system. But understanding a system and finding its stopping point are two different things, and Shao Kahn does not find that stopping point tonight. Conclusion. Wolverine did not win Mortal Kombat in the sense that the tournament understands it. He did not become champion, did not receive a crown, and was not honored by the Outworld warriors. What happened is simpler and at the same time more complicated. He did not die. And after a night when all the strongest of Outworld tried to change that reality, not dying becomes a statement strong enough to end the question. What Mortal Kombat is not designed to handle is not physical strength. The tournament has encountered many things stronger than Logan in pure terms. What it is not designed to handle is an opponent to whom the conditions of winning and losing do not apply in the usual way. Fatality means nothing to a body that can regenerate. Exhaustion means nothing to a creature that has been exhausted for 100 years and still wakes up every morning. The fear of death means nothing to someone who has faced death enough times to stop asking questions. But here is the key point that needs to be said directly. Wolverine surviving Mortal Kombat does not mean he cannot be destroyed. It means that Mortal Kombat, with the tools it had that night, was not enough to do it.
Couldn't do it.
In a universe where Outworld magic is strong enough to damage the soul rather than just the body, where Shinnok can manipulate reality at a more fundamental level, or where an opponent is patient enough to wait for the limit of adamantium, the answer could be different. Shao Kahn watches...
Who the hell is going to sit there and wait for the limit of adamantium? The limit, there is no limit, no? I mean, there probably is a limit, but that limit is so far, it's so far gone. It's like, there's no point in even anybody trying. I wonder if there is somebody who can exhaust that. That would be hilarious, actually.
Logan walk out of the arena in the red dawn of Outworld and gives an assessment not in words. He updates the list of things that cannot be killed by ordinary methods and adds one more name to it, not out of respect, because of data. Final answer, yes. Wolverine survives Mortal Kombat. Not because he is the best warrior, not because he is smart.
Let's be honest, it's because he's the best warrior.
Or faster, but because the entire system of the tournament is built around one assumption that Logan is the sole exception to, that everything can end.
Everything can end. But no, not this guy. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. We're definitely going back to Nerd Science after this. I'm so sorry you guys had to sit through this, but it was worth a shot. It was worth a shot because I've been seeing these videos pop up and I'm like, oh, there's another channel just like Nerd Science we can hop into and get more stuff. But nah, we're stuck to Nerd Science. We're stuck to Nerd Science. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. Hit that sub button, hit that like button if you haven't already. That'll do, boys. That'll do. Wolverine could obviously survive Mortal Kombat. I feel like we all need that.